allow you 10 minutes. You need that much time.
Do not, do you have any questions for us? I mean, it was a very thorough report, so I hope that everything and anything that we need is in there, but if there's any other questions that you have, we are factory built and state approved, so we build in our factory and then deliver here. So on site, the construction will be very minimal.
Thank you.
Some,
Please do.
so I'm the property owner.
Please state.
Yes, my name is Shane Talon. I'm the property owner for 41 Hawthorne. And then you guys were there for my historic property review as well. So what we are coming here for is basically building a garage right beside the historic home itself. One of the things that we have taken guidance from Sean and the city as well when they start thing is to make sure that whatever we're going to build is not going to kind of obstruct the presence of the historic home itself, but also not generate like a sense of false for the main home. So the garage that we're going to build will be right beside, but it's not going to conflict in any sense as such. So I just want to bring it to notice because at least in the past reviews that I've been here, that's one of the things that the commission actually cares for, to make sure that there's no sense of false age of the main home.
Thank you. Thank you.
To the chair, for the record, if we can have
I'm
the other speaker's name for the.
Heather Youngquist. I'm from the builder group and Rob.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Comments from the public? Mr. Public? Please state your name for the record, Joe.
John Bear, City Landmark Building. Very interested in historic preservation of this town and always delighted when I see a resident looking to preserve a house and make improvements that add to the character and compatible with the house. I believe that's the case on 41 Hawthorne, and I would urge you to recommend approval of their addition. Thank you.
Thank you. Guess this ends the public comments. Mr. Coe, any comments?
No, I thought, I read through the design earlier and I thought it looked very good.
Just writing.
I thought the design looks very good. I also compliments on the historic analysis. Very thorough.
Very nice.
There'd be a book about Los Altos in its own right.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, and I concur. Okay, let's ask for a motion then.
I'll go ahead and move. How would you like me to say the words, Dawn?
I would use similar language to the recommendation. You can abbreviate it if you'd like to. Or you could reference the language.
Yeah, let me. I would move that we approve this proposal in accordance with the language of the recommendations paragraph of the staff report that are received.
Second.
Oh,
I think commissioners in favor, Commissioner or Chair Adams.
Approve.
Vice Chair Coe. Commissioner Lang.
okay, looks like it's approved. Thank you very much, folks.
Yeah.
Your favorites.
Thank you.
We have the real business.
Chair Adams, for the records, the recording didn't start until they started. So if you get in the record, if you could just state the actions on the items before this item, just so we have it in the record.
Okay, so for the record, this is January 22nd. We have a quorum we have approved the minutes of the prior meeting, December 11th. And we're now ready to address item 2, the work plan.
Okay, and there were new members of the public that wish to speak on items not on the agenda. That the historical commission minutes were not modified and they were approved 3-0, a motion by Commissioner Lang, second by Vice Chair Coe, a vote of 3-0. Is that correct? Thank you. I apologize for not getting that before.
Okay, well, we're now fully recording.
Do we? For the next item, do we have it, just out of curiosity, we have a date with the city council yet?
No, I don't. They haven't forwarded that date to us yet.
That it's supposed to be in February, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only reason, since they had not requested information from us yet, that I thought it was an opportunity to bring it back so you could look at the revised language.
Looked to me like you captured what we said. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else on the commission wants to revisit any of these items.
This is what we outlined before, yes.
Yeah. You know, I read it with an eye towards, was it our discussion captured and reflected and like that to me, so.
Yes.
My big question was just that one was. Obviously, the longer they wait, the less likely it is that, the more likely that we have a conflict.
So once they give us direction, that'll be the work plan. And that language generally is what we'll forward to the city manager. And then we'll make sure to give you copies at that point. So then you'll have that information to go to the.
So when would we be forwarding this to the?
As soon as the city clerk advises staff with this meeting in February is scheduled.
Okay, so we will see it after the meeting is scheduled.
The moment they contact me and tell me the meeting is scheduled, then I will let you know. And then I will forward whatever information I'm giving them, so you have a copy for your records. And then you'll take that to the meeting. Generally, in the past, staff wrote a report, a simple report. I have no idea what they're doing now, because it's a different council, it's a different city clerk. They'll give me direction, and whatever I provide them, then I'll make sure you get a copy.
And as far as you know, at least probably a similar format where they have an evening. Where each commission has like 20 minutes, half an hour. Speed date our way through the evening.
I don't know, honestly. I don't want to. So in the past, as Commissioner Lang was advising, there would be, the council would meet with the commission, there'd just be a discussion about the work plan. I'm hoping it's similar to that, but it is a new council from the last time we had it, and they may have different directions. I don't know yet. I'll advise you as soon as I know. They just haven't told us.
Just not Valentine's Day, I get in trouble.
I doubt.
Okay, well, in terms of the particular items on the analysis, discussion. Any further comments?
No, I don't think we don't need to take an action on the first one, do we?
No, you don't have to take an action. It's not necessary. Unless you had revisions and you wanted to make a motion, then it could stand.
Informational item before on to that.
Yes, please.
Which is just that a very collaborative effort with our colleagues in the city and in the museum. There's 289 new apricot trees outside. So see any squirrels shake their fist at them for those things to take. And that's going well. Somewhat related, as you may know, the library is contemplating a patio extension of some sort. So I know that the city and the museum and the library are talking about how best to do that to minimize the impact on the orchard. not to dwell just on the negative part, there's also the positive, which we wanted to have programs where we can, for example, talk about what's going on in the orchard and having a patio that overlooked it, you know, really conducive environment for doing that. So we're hopeful that that project can turn out to be a good thing. But anyway, mostly just hope we have a conducive weather for those trees to take. It's exciting to see that many trees in the ground. That's all.
Thank you. Okay. For any further ado,
Anything else?
any additional items?
For, so there are no, so for commissioner reports, I guess, staff. Just to give you information on the Margaret Thompson essay contest.
Yeah.
So the History Museum really wanted us to get going early and staff got it going early. So we ended up getting an article in the paper in December. So we sent out notifications to the schools in December before the holidays. So they received all the documentation in advance. Excuse me. We posted all of the information on the website in December before the holidays, so everything was posted quite early. What they're advising is just to give you information, the historical commissioners that the education committee will be scoring the essays at 10 a.m. on Monday, March 18th. They should be finished at 1 p.m. The past years, we've had commissioners come and score with them. Last year, Commissioner Lang joined them. Commissioners are welcome to participate in scoring. If you'd like to participate this year, please speak to Commissioner Lang or speak to the History Museum. And then thirdly, or second, then they also scheduled the ice cream social for Tuesday, May 14th. That's typically root beer floats, ice creams or root beer floats, and that'll occur from 6 to 7. And then directly after that, students will come over to the council chambers. Council will hand out their cash awards.
What date was that again? Sorry.
May 14th. I did provide you in front of you a staple attachments of the essay contest information, of the essay prompt and the scoring process and the rubric and the application. Also the certified local government usually comes in January, but the date changed to April. And they did not get me, the CLG report was also not on their website this year. You have to actually write to them and ask for a copy. They didn't get it to me in time, so it'll come in April before the deadline. And then we'll forward the CLG. So they changed timelines this year for the first time. And that is it. We may have administratively, staff may be approving staff should be approving administratively a modification to historic landmark. It's a driveway and fence. Neither of them are historic. And under the code, there's an exception that's allowed.
Which property?
Of 55 Pepper, Chair John Bear's property.
Nope.
So they're replacing the existing driveway from concrete to pavers. And the driveway leading under the porch share is changing from concrete to pavers. None of those are character defining features of the building when it was defined in 1906. None of those existed in 1906. And so none of them had an impact to the integrity of it. So staff wrote Secretary of the Interior's report, and administratively it's going through the process through staff. And then we potentially may have, we're talking about it, I think Orchard Commons has proposed a fence and like a ditch,
Swale.
a swale adjacent to the frontage. So that may be, it may or may not come to you. Again, the requirement to come to you is if it's a change to, it can be a change to landscaping, if it has a direct relationship to the integrity of the historic structure. So that's why we didn't find the other one. It didn't have a direct relationship to the integrity of the building or the architectural features. And we don't know if that will or not. If we do believe it will, then it'll come to you. If not, it'll be done administratively.
Yeah, just, can I say something if I know something about it? The other-
Certainly for the record.
Yeah, I mean, it's just informational, no action.
Yeah, informational, right, is that the thinking about overall orchard is that the section in front of City Hall along San Antonio, we want to manage that particularly for aesthetics. Right, the notion that's the part that people drive by and they see.
Right.
So the notion is to do a bit of landscaping there, perhaps a little fence to discourage people from walking into it or whatever. To also affect the drainage in a way so that we don't get sediment coming out on the sidewalk and things like that. So it's viewed as like a low swale kind of thing. Again, we'll see what you all determine about it, but that, just so you know, that's the intention of the project.
We'll see if anything gets on the sidewalk right now.
I mean, yeah, it's, as you can imagine, our colleagues in the city have been a little bit distressed at times by the mountains of compost and mulch going in, but hopefully that'll all settle down. It'll be calm again. And, but anyway, that's the background on that project. It's not a huge mound or anything like that, but it's for staff to determine whether or not it needs approval. That's the background.
Okay, thank you. Any other items?
No.
So,
I just have a question, if I might, before we go. Just any further thought on the Mills Act review process? I mean, I know everybody's, it's one of those things where it's sort of important but not urgent, and so I always wonder.
Well, I mean, no, we haven't really put a lot of deep thought into it. I mean, generally, our approach on these things is a soft touch. So we will, we've sent out letters before. We will send out a letter again, but probably be not aggressive, but we will continually approach them, asking for updates to their plan. I think that the Development Services Director expects if individuals have not updated their 10-year maintenance plan, that there will be an expectation that at the minimum that they provide us that information. And that they, over the next 10 years, show documentation that they're utilizing their property taxes for rehabilitation.
Good, thank you. I mean,
That's the discussion, at least, that there's an expectation that they have to show that.
yeah, for what it's worth, I think that one of our duties as the commission is to be a bit pesky about this. Hence me being a bit pesky about this, just because I kind of feel like there was a deal struck between the other taxpayers and these taxpayers that they would get this relief in exchange for maintaining the property, and there's reporting requirements that go along with that. And if it's too much bother to do a bit of reporting, because the reporting's not that onerous as I recall, but takes some work, but in exchange for often tens of thousands of dollars of relief, surely you can find some time in your busy schedule to do that. So
Our hope is to get responses. If not, then we will provide in a report the actions we've taken and we will indicate in the report those properties that have not responded, and we'll have it in a report for you.
okay,
So then it's public information, those individuals that have not addressed it.
there was a club recently where I noticed next to the front door of the club that there was a framed list of the members whose accounts were in arrears. Boy, that's probably
public shaming.
so I don't know that we didn't go quite that far, but I mean, I do think it's appropriate, particularly if we're gonna have other people. That We expect people to do. You know, it's not huge onerous stuff. It takes some attention, but it's not. Not too terrible, and in good faith, it ought to be done, so.
Great.
Okay. All right,
All right, thank you very much.
thank you. Glad we got that resident
Underway.